I was wondering, can we hire a lawyer to look at this agreement because it was so long?
ChatGPT had problems with it as well.
No, us old people do not approve. It's a young thing.
I don't see any old people in this room.
Let's forget it, yes, right?
Member Osborne?
Through the chair, I did have, so the emailed document that we received, it looks like there were 3 or 4 of the legal services agreements that started back in 24. Then it's renewed every year. So I think I saw 24, 25, 26,
Yeah,
correct?
that is correct.
Going into next year. One thing I wanted to bring up was trying to get to the third one. Okay, so the one from December 11th, 2025 through December 11th, 2026, which would be this year. I see that we renew this yearly. Article 2, compensation. 2.1 states that the art authority agrees to pay the firm a one-time fee of $8,000, and in parentheses, it's actually $10,000 for the term of this contract and the services set forth in 1.2 A through H above. So I wanted to make sure that, is it 8 or 10?
Christopher Stump with the Perkins Law Group. It is supposed to be $8,000.
Oh, okay, so this is just simply a misprint.
Correct.
Thank you.
Anything else, Member Osborne?
No, that's it.
And that is, we're noting that in the contract for us, that it's a misprint.
Yes.
So will you send over the revised contracts? Thank you.
Yes.
That was it's a misprint. It's consistent in all of them. So we probably got to change them all.
Yes.
So that's noted for record that will be adjusted and it's highlighted.
Yes.
Thank you.
So the contracts are approved as amended, is that what we're saying?
Absolutely. Well, let's, to the body,
Can I make a motion to amend the service agreement, the legal service agreement, Article 2.1 to read the art authority agrees to pay the firm a one-time fee of $8,000 with 8,000 in parentheses, $8,000,000.
yes, so that is a motion on the floor. It does not need a second. Are we all in agreement with that? Yeah. Member Haley? Yeah.
I'm sorry, who's second?
It's an agreement.
We do need a second. Who's second?
A second for that? Member Haley, you want to second that? Member Haley, second. So we're all in favor of that amendment to that
Change,
Yeah.
absolutely.
contended to that change? Okay. Yay, we all in favor.
Okay,
Okay,
motion
for the-
carries.
So we do need to move for this approval of that contract with that motion of changing it. So someone want to make a
I'll
motion?
make a motion to approve the legal service agreement with the amended language as this body has agreed upon.
A second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. Thank you, Perkins Law Group.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Approval of the management representation letter, invoice, and audit from Allen C. Young and Associates for the year ending December the 31st, 2025.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jay Wild. I'm a principal with Allen Young and Associates. We recently completed the audit. I'm just here to go over the highlights very briefly. We have a busy schedule, so I won't take up too much of your time. It's relatively straightforward, but you all should have the bound presentation. So I'll work off of to give the highlights. First, just want to start out thanking Octavia and Pamela for their excellent assistance. I mean, such precision. It is a pleasure to work with them. They keep everything on track, get us everything we need promptly. Really is a pleasure working with this organization. Page 3, I just always like to start out reminding everyone the responsibilities for the financial statements. The statements are the responsibility of management. Our responsibility as auditor is strictly to express our opinion on those statements. So although with the report, we do a lot of the legwork with putting the information in the form of statements, it is all based on management's representation. Page 4, we will be issuing an unmodified opinion. We will do that once this meeting is done, pending approval of the report and the signature of the management representation letter. An unmodified opinion is the gold standard of opinions. It means once we completed our procedures, everything within the report, the numbers, the footnotes are all fairly stated. Page 5, just important concept. The bottom bullet point, that's the concept of reasonable assurance rather than absolute assurance. All audits are performed under this concept. It means we do not look at every single transaction that takes place over the course of the year. So because of that, there exists a possibility, albeit small, of there being material misstatements. We certainly do not believe there are any. Our procedures are developed to help us identify any such misstatements, but that's just the concept of reasonable assurance. Page 6, just a few required communications to those of you charged with governance. Scope of our audit was as described in our engagement letter, nothing above and beyond we were asked or required to do. We received complete cooperation throughout the process. Your accounting policies were consistently applied. We had no disagreements with management, and to the best of our knowledge, there was no consultation with third parties because of any potential disagreements. Next, we'll take a look at some numbers. Page 7. Once again, kind of the unusual looking balance sheet. Since the authority is essentially a pass-through entity, you really have no assets or liabilities at year end. What you bring in, outside of a few scattered other disbursements, goes directly to the DIA. Page 8, very nice numbers here, looking at your revenues and expenses. You see those revenues went up from $9.7 million to just under $10.9 million. A very nice increase in the taxable values for fiscal 2025. That led to a boost to the bottom line. And of that $10,887,000, $10,872,000 went to DIA. The remaining $15,000 was a combination of audit fees and legal fees that were paid during the year. And that is the broad overview. Again, Jay Wild with Allen Young & Associates, we want to thank you for choosing us and continuing to use us as your audit firm. More than happy to answer any questions anyone may have.
Is there any questions for Mr. Wild from this body?
I do. For the professional fees, is there an itemized page for that so that we could see? I see where it went up from one year to the next.
Yes, and the reason for that, and I don't have the exact number, but what happened is in the prior year, that $7,400 was strictly the audit. There were no legal fees that were paid. 2025 includes both audit fees and legal fees. So the audit fees may have went up slightly. It's somewhere between $7,400, $7,600. The remaining, $7,600, $7,700 would have been legal fees. So that's the reason for the increase.
I have a question. So we just renewed the legal services. That was $8,000. Is that part of the professional fees?
It is. It was a little less than $8,000. This is based on what was actually paid to the firm, to the legal firm during the year. So it would have been less than $8,000 in 2025.
But it doesn't show in 24, right?
There were no legal fees paid in 2024.
So last year we didn't have this agreement, the legal agreement, even though the years are.
So through the chair, through the vice chair, if you don't mind, that's why we have those contracts for you guys to approve today, so that we can include it in the next audit, because we were operating without the agreement with Perkins Law Group.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for Mr. Wild? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Everyone has this information. Someone wants to make a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Any discussion? Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstention? Any opposed? Approval.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. Now we're line item 3 for discussion of the regarding our small business taxpayer exemption.
Hello, everyone. Christopher Stump from the Perkins Law Group. So we have reviewed this item as requested by the Art Authority. There are a couple things that we need to proceed. One is we need to be provided with the EIN number. If the EIN number, if the Art Authority does have one, in order to apply for this exemption. If the board does not have an EIN number, just simply a tax number, Perkins Law Group can go ahead and get that for them, but we do need board approval for it. Second, we need a motion for permission to apply for the state of Michigan Sigma vendor number in order to proceed. And then third, and this is going to require a little help, is we need 2 board members to apply for a bank account once we get the EIN number and the Sigma vendor number. That can't be done via a third party. It's got to be done by the board. So we need 3 pieces of information. We need the EIN number or approval to get a EIN number. We need permission to apply for a state of Michigan Sigma vendor number. And we do need the board itself to open a bank account after those have been procured by Perkins Law Group, if they aren't already in existence.
Okay. Octavia, do we currently have an EIN number?
I am unaware.
Okay.
But I will look into it and let you know.
So we have those 3 things that we are tasked with as far as getting back to you guys. As far as this body, usually I'm assuming the treasurer and the chair will be the 2 signers on the bank account.
Yeah.
So if that's okay with this body, we'll continue with those procedures. And we will put this on our agenda as far as the EIN number for our next meeting. We can get back with you guys. Well, Octavia will get back with you guys as far as provide that information to you guys. And do we want to go ahead and give the Perkins Law Firm now, if we don't have one, the approval to apply for an EIN number for us? Go ahead.
Couple of questions. One is, I'm not saying I disagree with the chair and the treasurer starting a bank account, but if we have elections at our next meeting and the chair and the treasurer are different people, how do we approach that?
So I guess the first thing to do is see if the EIN number exists, and that way, if it does or does not, and we do have permission to move forward, the bank account can't be opened before the next meeting anyway, regarding information relayed back to the board after the EIN number is even provided or secured, along with the Sigma vendor number. So if you're having elections next meeting, that could be tabled and for the new treasurer or board members. That way it would provide us time to get an EIN number or have things in place in order to open an account, because that can't be done without the first 2 pieces of information.
So we can table the bank account, selecting the bank, and move forward with looking for the EIN or allowing Perkins Law Group to apply for one, and the Sigma vendor number. We can move forward with 2 out of 3.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
So for our next meeting, Octavia will do the research with the EIN number. We're in the process of electing our officers, so everything will be in sequence, or we're not doubling back, and we can solidify that if that's okay with the board. That's fine. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
One more.
Oh, go ahead.
Can you give a brief overview of the advantage of the small business tax exemption?
So the small business tax exemption would allow the board to receive funds from the state in order to do its daily routines. It's more receiving funds from the state in regards to it being actually a small business. So it provides outside funds for what you guys do here.
Sorry, I did a lot of research on this. The money is already there. You guys just aren't claiming it. So it's just not going to you. So it doesn't make sense to not claim it.
Right, I know that's
Yeah.
what we discussed at our last meeting. It was just sitting in a nice trust ready for us to claim.
And I have a question. So with us getting our, I'm sorry, I should have. With us getting,
There you go.
with us getting our EIN number and a vendor being I guess a vendor for the state of Michigan, which is the Sigma number, that will enable us to be able to gain access to these funds. It's through a vendorship.
Correct.
Okay,
So you can't even apply to claim the funds unless you have an EIN number
okay,
and a Sigma vendor number.
okay. Understood. Thank you.
Any other questions from the body? No. Okay, so we have our marching orders regarding our small business tax exemption. I'm sorry, we may need to make a motion that go with those first two line items that we're taxing you guys with. Bars,
I think,
yeah, we're tabling it until, okay.
Make a motion to table agenda item 3.
Okay.
The small business tax exemption, taxpayer exemption until our next meeting when we select our next group of leadership.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carried. Line item G, such other matters submitted to before the authority.
Would this be I just wanted to, I don't know if this is the appropriate time, but in the discussion of the next meeting date, we did do a calendar, Octavia, and I think tentatively it was set for September 1st. So I know you're gonna kind of double check that, but that's what I had in my notes. I won't be here on September 1st, but I certainly would send someone from the team. The other thing, I just want to make sure, the September meeting is typically the half-year meeting, and it's also the time of year where this body levies the millage, and the deadline for that is September 30th. So just wanting to make sure it's on everyone's radar for that. And then I did send an invite to this group, and I will get you looped in for the opening of the Wayne High School show, 5th annual. That is Tuesday at 1:30. I brought for the group today the catalog from the show, so I'll leave that with everybody. And then I also brought our latest piece of swag for our senior fairs. So I will let everyone go home. Octavia already got hers, but this is the latest giveaway that we're having at our senior fairs. A little fan, so 'tis the season. Anyway, those were just the two things I wanted to make sure that I mentioned while I was here. So hopefully I'll see or I'm out next week, but hopefully we'll see some of you coming for the opening of the Wayne show. If you can't make it for the reception with the students, it'll be up through the 20th of July, close to the end of July. So
Maybe can I get a ask in for some swag for August the 1st in case you have a few fans laying around? Is this for Devon Avenue? I know you all. I'm asking because I love all of my swag.
tell me how many and I will get those to you. No problem.
Thank you, Julie.
Question for Julie. Julie, based on years prior, how's the turnout for the high schoolers? Have we seen more, less, kind of the same?
So I don't have the numbers with me, but we had a lot of submissions. I don't have the exact number. I think it's pretty consistent with prior years. And we've really done a lot of work to make sure that we're getting representation from a wider range of schools. That work continues because it's all about getting the word out and developing those relationships. But that was sort of the main thrust for us this year, was to try to get as many different schools as we could.
Okay.
Because number of submissions, if we just focus on that, they could all be coming from, a
From
smaller
a
group.
handful of schools.
So, And the show is about the same size that it has been, that is determined by the space. So the show will look the same, but what went into the show, we had a good number of submissions, and we're just always trying to create those relationships with art teachers so that every year they just know, oh, it's that time, we're getting an email from the DIA, and that they're thinking about it throughout the year with their projects. I know we've gotten some great suggestions from this group about sending something when the school year starts, even though it's not application time, but sort of that nudge at the beginning of the year, like, hey, we're going to be asking you later. Think about it as you're planning with your kids for the year. So,
Thank you.
Question, Julie, I know with the kids, the young people, does the paper, you get any news coverage? We're getting a lot of news, undesirable news coverage. Is a way we can kind of get some more conversation about the good news, because this is a good news, same kind of age group, but I don't see is any of that I see of the other. So what could we do to get out the good news about our young people and, in all our counties?
yeah. So, I mean, this is a good news story, and we have gotten media coverage on it. I don't have the detail with me today, but I'm pretty sure it was WDIV was an on camera. We also, I mean, a couple of the papers, and there was a interview on WWJ, I think about a week ago. We're putting out a media advisory this afternoon for the reception to see if, that's of interest to press. We did have in a segment over the weekend, and I can't remember the TV station, but we supplied them with images. So they did a little kind of teaser on the opening and use some images there. But I can bring, actually, I can send to you a listing of the press coverage that we got for this. I mean,
In the other counties, I'd like to be interested in what they're saying, and in all the counties, just what's going on. I want some good news, however we can get it.
all right. Well, we have good things going on. We're just working to get people to cover it. Thank you.
Yes.
Also, I'd like to add, I agree completely with Member Haley that there's been a lot of negative press about our youth, especially on social media. So I'm wondering, is the DIA pushing this? Forgive me, I don't follow a lot of social media, but I have people come to me and they show me screenshots and running video of what's going on. Are we broadcasting? Are we showing this on our social media?
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
The high schoolers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
people saying about the negative press being about our youth. And I'm asking, that's what I mean, our youth are tuned in to social media. I don't follow it for various reasons, but I'm wondering, is that on the DIA social media? And are we reaching out to influencers, people who have access to a large group?
Yeah. So, I mean, you're talking so thanks for the question. And you're talking kind of like in detail on, the tactics that our PR and marketing team uses. So
Yes, exactly.
we have a huge social media presence. We hired a chief digital officer probably about 3.5 years ago, and our online audience has grown like incredibly. Traffic through our website, likes and followers on Facebook, and we promote all of the things that we do at the museum through our social media channels. So this certainly would be included in that.
Okay, thanks.
Anything else? David, do we have any public comments from online?
There is no one on hand wishing to make a public comment online.
Anyone in our audience comments? No. Right. Someone want to make a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you, guys.